Hello beautiful people, it's Bridget. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day, and today's video is finally going to be a review of the Colourpop and Disney Villains collection. I bought the Misunderstood palette and the Cruella highlighter. Today we're going to test these things out, see how they perform, and do a wearable look for you. I feel like Colourpop sponsored a lot of really cool, intricate like Instagram posts and YouTube videos and stuff, but today we're going to do one that's actually wearable for you. If you want to go out, you don't have to do something super intricate, and tell you how to work with these shadows really well. So without any further ado, let's jump to the video. Alright guys, before we get started, all makeup on this channel is cruelty free and so is Colourpop Cosmetics. The palette itself, the Misunderstood palette, which is like the meat of the collection, is $22. I also decided to get the Cruella highlighter, which is $10. It is the Super Shock highlighter formula. So now let's go ahead and get into like what the overall theme of this collection is, which is Disney Villains. We already had the Disney designer palette, which was Disney Princess themed, and I will leave my review of that linked up top as well as down below for you if you want to check that out. The palette is very pretty, but it's definitely on the lighter scheme. So today we have the Misunderstood palette, which is more towards the villain, really dark and cool theme, I believe. And then this is the inside of the palette, which is a really cool color scheme, definitely darker than their previous palette with a lot of metallic shades, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matte shades. So I do wish there were more mattes in this palette right from the get-go, but like with the villains and stuff sneaked in here, it's just a really, really nice palette overall as far as colors and aesthetics. So we're going to test this palette out today. Let's go ahead and jump into some swatches before I show you how I did this look. Okay, so here are these swatches of the Misunderstood palette. I barely had enough room for this last one, but they look really pretty. Like this matte right here and this blue one aren't my favorite swatches in the world, but they are matte. But overall we have about 4 pressed glitter shades, the rest are metallics, and then we have a couple mattes. But overall these look really nice. There's nothing in particular that looks bad to me. Alright guys, so what did you think of these swatches? I thought they were just super satisfyingly beautiful. The metallic shades are wonderful. 1 or 2 of the mattes like isn't the best matte swatch I've ever seen in the world, but overall like those metallics are satisfying. So let's go ahead and jump into the look, show you how I did it, and see how it performs. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to test out is the highlighter. So the Cruella highlighter, and this is the color itself. It is just a kind of a white highlighter with some glitter in it. I'm going to be taking my Sigma F03 brush just lightly and see how this applies. We might have to go back in. Okay. Okay, so I'm aggressively in here, and it's like, not, like, yeah, there's highlight there. I don't know. Like, I see the little bit of a shift in color in here, but that's not that blinding. It's very, very subtle, and it definitely doesn't look white on the cheek. It definitely looks like a pinky kind of gold shade, which is not an issue for me, but like it's not, I'm right in front of studio lights. This should, it just doesn't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger in here, because it definitely picks up better on the finger, and I'm going to do like a tapping. Because it, like, Super Shock's shadows and stuff are typically like a little bit wet. Like, it still doesn't really want to apply super blinding, even with my finger. So I don't know. Highlighter, I'm gonna go with not worth the $10. Now let's dive into what everyone is here for, the palette. I'm gonna go ahead and start buffing over my crease since we don't have that many mattes to go in. I'm gonna take the shade Tragic right here and just kind of buff it over the crease area. There's some kickback in the pan with this shade, but not more than normal. Next up, I'm going to dip into the shade Devious, which is this kind of brown tone. I really like the first shade, Tragic. I feel like it's a beautiful transition shade. And I'm just going to add this to the crease as well. It's kind of orange. I'm going to deepen up the outer corner just a tiny baby bit with the 101 shade, which is a matte black. I'm going to go very lightly in this, personally. I'm terrified of black shadows. So, just gonna make this work. So the black shadows spread out way easier than I expected. I kind of wanted it to stick in one place and I wiggle it out, but it blended so nicely that was a little bit surprising because black shadows are typically harder for me to work with. So it's not the most blended in the world, but we're going to cover it with these nice like metallic shades anyways. So for the inner lid area, I want to be kind of brighter, so I am going to take the shade Mongrels, which is a shade I love in this palette, even though mine came a little bit, it's a little bit broken at the bottom, but this palette color is so beautiful. So I'm going to take it on the Palladio flat brush dry and just see, it picks up pretty well. Let's see how this applies dry. So you can see it applied pretty decently, but I just feel like I want it to stick better, so I am going to spray my brush. Oh, that's beautiful. Definitely like a million times better with a wet brush. That's so pretty. So I definitely recommend for these metallic shades so far, it shows that like definitely use a wet brush or your finger to apply. With a dry brush, it just doesn't pop as much. So for the outer color, I want to take, there's a bunch of different options here for the outer corner. So I'm going to take Facile, which is like this cool emerald green kind of color. I want to put that over the black. Wow, this is a really pretty color because you can actually tell it's green. With some darker greens, they kind of get lost, but this one looks really green and pretty. So I think this look so far is like, it's kind of basic, but it's kind of cute. So I'm going to take the shade Devious because we don't have the main mask to choose from under the lower lash line with a shader brush, and then I'm going to take the Underworld kind of gold shade under there as well. It's not going to show up as well as these metallics did, but like give a little bit of shimmer down there. So I'm going to go pop on some mascara lashes, finish up my face, and I will be right back after an hour so we can do a little bit of a wear test. Alright guys, so this is the finished look, all said and done. What do we think? I think it's really simple, but I think it's really cute. Like, I definitely like doing wearable looks because, like, I'm not going to go out dressed as Cruella to the grocery store yet. Maybe my extra will get there one day, but this is the more kind of look I'm comfortable with on a daily basis. Also, I'm wearing brown lipstick, which makes me feel more like the villain, I guess, because I'm just not used to this dark color. But let me know what you think of this lip color because I think the formula is really nice from Raine. So now let's start talking about what I think of the products overall. So firstly, the Cruella highlighter, or Super Shock highlighter, is not for me, just because I like things super bold. This is as blinding as I could get it, even like trying to get it going up, and like with studio lights against me, this should be like phew. And then this side is just like, I applied it with the finger and the brush on this side, and it just didn't apply. A lot of people like Super Shock highlighters with their finger, but even that didn't really help me with this one. I just think it isn't as beautiful as it looks online, and it's not worth the $10. For the misunderstood eyeshadow palettes, I think the like metallic shades are holding up pretty well without like going all over the lid. I like the formula of the metallic shades with the finger or a wet brush. The dry brush, it'll go on pretty nicely, but it won't be as like beautiful, and it kind of will put little pieces of glitter underneath your face. The mattes, I like the matte formula. They blend out super easily, but I do wish there were more mattes, or maybe more diverse mattes, because you only get 5 mattes in here. You get the white, and then you get these 4. I wish maybe one of these 2 shades were a matte instead. But yeah, overall, the color scheme, if you like it because you know what color scheme you're buying when you buy the palette, I think it's very cute. It kind of does match like the Disney villain theme. What I do wish was in here was like maybe a bright red or like a blood red color, because you know, villains and such. That's what I think is missing from this palette, but overall the color scheme and everything is really cute. I absolutely love the packaging on this. Sometimes I love the box packaging more than the actual packaging, because this packaging is real cute, but I think this is so cool with like the glitches. You can kind of see like the villains in here if you absolutely look for them, but from a distance you just see like a really cool pattern on the palette. I think that's really awesome. I do think this is worth the money if you want to pick it up. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know if you picked this up, what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you, and have an awesome day wherever you are. Bye. Hello, Miss Azrael. Yes, I was wondering your favorite Disney villain. I just figured someone as magical as you has a favorite villain. Can I get your input on this, please? Who's your favorite villain? Oh, you're so cute.